Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are throughout the globe. I'm Rizwan Akram here in Connecting the World show, and today I have a very special guest in my show, and she is none other than Alison Robertson. So, Alison is basically a coach, an author, and a multi talented, multi dimensional personality. So, today we would like to know about how we should elaborate a single person with multidimensional skills. So, Alison, welcome to the show, Connecting the World.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here.
Alison, first of all, I would like to ask that, as I know, still the day, according to my limited knowledge, I think that there is no certain degree for coaching or mentorship, or you may say the consultancy. So, how a person become a coach?
How does someone become a coach? Well, there's lots
Yeah.
of ways to become a coach. I started off as an actress and a creative, and then
Wow.
worked my way once I had children into the personal development world. So I think there's lots of ways you can come by being a coach. I think it's something that people are called to. I think it's something people can do to further their education to help others. I mean, of course, for me, I started off by getting certified as a life coach and a transformational coach. So I took a lot of education and a lot of steps before I opened my practice here in Los Angeles.
Alison, most of the time when we are in our childhood, a lot of people were thinking about some sort of white collar jobs or some bright career like maybe medicine, maybe engineering, maybe pilot or something like that, or some uniform forces as well. But none of the person in his childhood have a dream to become a mentor, become a coach. How was your childhood actually?
Well, so my childhood, I'm an only child and I grew up in a multi-generational household. So I grew up with the support of my parents and my grandparents and my aunt. And so I was always encouraged to do whatever I wanted, whatever I desired, which was an amazing way to grow up. And so it led me to performing and going into the creative arts. But I always had a gift for helping people. So I think when people decide to become a coach, mentorship, I believe, just sort of happens as you get success or you grow and you want to share your knowledge with others. So, I didn't start off saying, "Oh, I want to be a coach. Oh, I want to help people." Right? In my late teens, early 20s, I, I just thought, well, I just want to perform. I knew I wanted to connect with people. So the common denominator here is I've always wanted to connect with people on some level, whether it was sharing stories, creating a show. And now I really have a real passion for personal development, confidence, creating businesses, how to generate your life. So I feel like it's like you step into it. It's a call. It feels to me like a calling when you're a coach.
So, Alison, if I ask a person basic ingredients to become a coach, what he should learn something
If they want to become a coach, what should they learn?
exactly?
Okay, I think one of the things is, as a coach, there's something that you learn personally that then you feel a need to share with others. And for me, I was always so fascinated by psychology, how the mind works, how people interact. I had a genuine curiosity in people. So that allowed me to, this being a coach allowed me to explore that so much more. And when you really delve into the personal development, self-help fields, you see there's so many ways to change our mindset, to have a new way of thinking, to build confidence. And I just found it so fascinating. But as a coach, if you're starting out or this is something you want to do, you have to educate. You have to educate yourself so that you're able to help people, right? It's not just my opinion or I have a good idea. I have different theories and different practices, and I've studied at the knees of giants who have taught me how to help others more succinctly and more beneficial.
So, Alison, there is a question in mind that people are suffering from some infection. They go to medicine doctor, physician. When the people are having some aches in your bones, they go to some physiotherapist.
Uh-huh.
When they have something with throat infection, they go to ENT specialist. Why the people should go for the coaching?
Good. That's a great question. You know, people, I had someone tell me the other day that people have asset managers, right? They take wealth managers. We have people that take care. You just said so yourself. If we have something wrong physically, we go to a doctor, right? We always seek an
Exactly.
expert or someone bigger than us. So
Yeah.
why would mental health or our self-confidence or our mindset be any different? Why wouldn't we search somebody out to assist us to grow to the next level? Now, I think that people think we're strong and we should be able to figure it out ourselves, but sometimes we're doing life, and when we want something bigger, we have to go outside of ourselves. And if we knew how to do that, we would. So that's where a coach or a mentor or an advisor comes into play. They help you think outside of yourself. They help build your confidence. They help create that plan. They help you generate to a bigger life or a bigger business or a better way of thinking about yourself in the world.
Here comes another question in mind, Alison. That when you go for someone uh, who is apparently a coach, and you are definitely more senior than him or her in experience, how you can expect that he or she can tell you the actual solution of your problem?
You're saying that if the client has more experience than the coach. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because then maybe that's not the fit for you, right? I always say you want to seek out a coach or an advisor or a mentor who has something that you want. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
really matter about their experience, but if they have something that you want or a way that they're living or they have a way of doing something that sparks an interest in you or it makes you seem how you can be bigger in your world, that's your coach. That's your mentor. You have to be on the same page as your coach and your mentor. They have to bring value to your life, not just somebody that you admire.
Alison,
There you are. You're back.
yeah, I'm here all the time. So, Alison, would you like to tell me that you are also author, you are also a motivational speaker, you are also an actor as well? What should be your basic intro, and how you are managing all these multi-dimensional fields?
Yeah, I call it a multi-passionate life, right? I have all different paths that came down that I choose to walk on. I started out as a performer. I still am a performer. I moved into the personal development coaching field. And when I was doing that, I was working with people one on one. And then I was asked to speak several years ago here in Los Angeles. And I realized that I can touch so many more lives by speaking to a group and not just one person. It's just another facet of my coaching. And with that was born the idea to write a book. And I never thought I would write a book. I never thought I had it in me. And so the book, it all were stepping stones to each other. They all connect me to where I am today. My background in performing helps me with speaking, my personal development business helping me reach others. And then the book is just a way of me putting down my thoughts and my theories and my tools of how I help other people and clients throughout my past 10 years of doing this.
Uh, Alison, there's another with the coach as you are a motivational speaker. What are the ingredients of a motivational speaker?
I get asked that question a lot. What are the ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think the motivation part is in the audience, is in the people that are listening to me. They decide whether
Wow.
it's motivational. I don't decide it. I'm just sharing my thoughts. If you decide that you're inspired by it or you're motivated by it, then I allow the audience to give me that title. I don't necessarily like giving myself that title. But the ingredients are, I take concepts that we use every day, and maybe I just shape it a little differently so you can hear it or access it differently. I didn't invent self-help, right? I didn't invent that wheel. I'm just taking everything that I learned and sharing the way I use the tools, sharing the way my clients have used the tools and gotten success. And in that, if someone is helped in their journey with it, then they're inspired by that. But as far as motivational speaking, I'd like to separate those two words. The motivation is up to you, whether you think I'm motivational. I'm just giving you the information that I have learned and I have found of value, and I'm imparting it to you to see if you can find the same value in it.
Alison, being a motivational speaker, you must have a positive vibes. You must have a positive attitude. You must have such aura around you that can inspire others. How you personally get motivation?
That's a great one. I get asked that a lot. I really work on my mindset a lot. I live a life of gratitude. I'm grateful for the smallest things. I celebrate little wins. I take my responsibility as a mom to teach my daughters very seriously and make sure that they grow up to be strong women that are empowered. So my own motivation and my own inspiration really comes from connecting with other people and hearing their stories and seeing how I can help. But motivation for me comes in learning and education. I love learning a new tool. I love learning something new about psychology. It inspires me. And usually when I get inspired by something that I've learned, I immediately want to share it. I immediately want to tell everybody, right? For being an only child, we get labeled that we don't know how to share. But when it comes to mindset, confidence, how to generate, I love sharing that with people. So I guess I'm really inspired by new concepts, new education, new ways of thinking. And at the end of the day, my other inspiration is I'm still a performer. So anytime that I can create, it just refuels me. So I'm very clear about what works for me. It's not that I don't struggle because I do. Some days I'm not confident. Some days I don't think I can do it. But what I don't do is I don't live in that mindset. I have ways of getting out of that as quickly as possible. I call it a short recovery time.
Alison, being a motivational speaker, all the people want something positive from the speaker, positive vibes, positive attitude,
Mm-hmm.
and all the time counseling. But the actual motivational speaker, how embrace his level of energy? Like when I listen on news in my surrounding, even on the TV,
Mm-hmm.
I got depressed and my energy level goes down. And even if I try to write something, I can't write it for many days because that news has touched so inner to me.
Yes.
How a motivational speaker keep with the same positive level and maybe with the higher level in some days while listening a lot of negativity from all about surroundings?
Yeah, that's a really great question. How does one keep their motivation high or keep their self-esteem high, right?
Yeah,
Um, and especially when you're dealing with the other people, right? It's very easy to pick up their energy. It's very easy to pick up if they're sad. It's very easy to pick up if they're negative. Um,
yeah,
it's having a strong mindset is something that you have to practice every day. It's not something you just
mm,
say, hey, I'm going to have a great mindset and off you go. That's not how it works, right? It's something you have to have a daily practice in. You have to have a way of saying, I believe in myself. I am enough. I can do this. I'm going to accomplish this. I have accomplished this. It's constantly reminding you of what you're grateful for. When we have gratitude for what we have, it makes everything enough. So if we just start right here today with what you have, I have a roof over my head. I'm getting to talk to you. I have internet. It's beautiful outside. Just seeing the basic things around you, reflecting back to you how wonderful your life can be, even if you're in a challenging time, even if you're in a space that you don't like. It's constantly working on your mindset. The brain is the most powerful tool we have. It will go and do whatever you tell it to, negative or positive. So why not tell it positive? But for me, I try to be very aware of what is my feelings versus what is your feelings. So I've spent a very long time learning that practice of is that mine? When I feel sad, when I feel stressed, when I feel negativity, I think, is that mine or is that yours? Is that the news? Is that the state of the world? Because sometimes it's just heavy and we just need to acknowledge this is a heavy time, but I don't need to take it on. And if I do take it on, then the next thing I do is take the next most positive action that I can take for myself to start to change that mindset.
Alison, if I ask what are few things that you ask yourself daily, and what are your practices before going to sleep?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, daily, I try to remind myself that I'm strong, that I can do anything, and that I'm
So,
very,
as the most of the people say that you must write it down
yes,
in front of your bedroom, is it so?
yes, because the mind will go search out what the brain will go search out what you see. So, and the other thing is, it's very important to write with a pen, not with your fingers, right?
Oh,
So that it gets into your subconscious. And put it on your bathroom mirror or on your front door what you were working on. I'm enough. I'm smart. I'm strong. I can do it. Because the brain says, here we go. I'm going to find those things for her. I'm going to show her that she is those things. Now, the opposite is if I say, I'm bad with money, I'm not a good person, I'm weak, I failed. You know what the brain does? It goes and finds those things to show me how I am that. So, positive talking to yourself, positive affirmations isn't just a spiritual way of being, it's actually scientific. That if we tell the brain what to look for, it will go and find it. So, why not tell it that you're wonderful, that you're great, that you're smart, that you're capable? And that what you have, even if it's not exactly what you want, that what you have is enough at this time.
and what about the evenings, night?
Nighttime. You know, nighttime is tough because you're tired, it's the end of the day. So a couple things I try to do. One is I try to limit my technology so that my brain can start to settle out and I'm not being influenced by constant social media or input. And I really try to set myself up for the next day. Write a list of what I want to accomplish. And I always try to write down what I'm grateful for. 3 to 5 things that I was grateful for that day. Now, I'm a big one for marking time. So that helps me to look back and say, oh my gosh, look at all these wonderful things that happened, or look what I've accomplished in the past 2 weeks through my gratitude. So it's about prepping yourself for the next day, having gratitude, and allowing your brain to settle out from technology.
Alison, there is one thing that I have anchored over there, that write with your pen, not with your finger. What does it mean, and how this message convey to your brain?
Well, it allows you to get it into your brain because you're using a different part of your brain when you're using your motor skills, right? As opposed to this typing, the pen is you actually writing it out. You actually getting it into your consciousness. right? We're constantly typing. We're constantly typing. It's not, there's no connection there. It's not that we don't, it's not information that we're using, but it's a different form. So writing it with a pen solidifies what you're doing. It solidifies to you, you're writing it in your own handwriting, whether you like your handwriting or not, in your own way. And it's getting it into your subconscious.
Alison, there is another thing you have mentioned about to-do list. Uh, Most of the time, I make a to-do list, and when I have a meeting with a person, and I thought that it might be end within an hour, the person that may take it prolong about 1.5 hours, might be 2 hours, and in some cases, when I'm stuck in traffic, my whole day shattered. And the one event that shattered out of the time that make the whole day worst for me, like it constantly tap my head that you have been got late, you have been gone out of the to-do list. So however the to-do list may be effective, it may be
Yes.
destructive some of the time. what
Yes.
what to do for it?
Yes. That's great. So first of all, being late, okay, if you live in an area that's had a lot of traffic and you don't have a lot of control, then you're going to have to back up your time and leave yourself more time and stop thinking that you can control an area that's well trafficked. I live in Los Angeles, California. We have crazy traffic. So I never think I'm going to get somewhere in 30 minutes. So I always leave an hour before so that I'm not stressed. It's really changing how you do things, right? That's, you have to change how you're behaving in the world so that you don't feel bad for being late, or you don't feel bad that you miscalculated, because you're walking in with low self-esteem then to whatever meeting you're going into. You're mad at yourself, you're upset with yourself, you're frustrated. There's no way to walk into a meeting. So you have to change your time. You have to get a new relationship with time. Figure out how to be friends with it as opposed to being against it. That's the first thing. The second thing, with a to-do list, everyone loves lists. They love to make them. They love to make them really long, and then they ignore them. They don't pay attention to them, right? Because they feel relieved that it's on a piece of paper. But now, how do you go through the to-do list? So for me, I have two ways. One is I pick 3 to 5 things off of my to-do list a day or a week, depending on what kind of job you have, what kind of household you have, what kind of time frame you have. But if you pick 3 to 5 things a day, right, to get accomplished, and just mark it, these are the 3 things I'm going to do today, period. Don't do any more, any less. And then the next day, do another 3 to 5 things. Don't try to do 10 and nothing the next day, because then you're going to feel bad. Be consistent, inch by inch, not mile by mile.
That's beautiful. And we're going towards the last questions of today's session with you. It was, however, the time is passing so quickly that I wish to talk to you more and more. How you start your day, like with talking to yourself, with checking out your to do list, or you trying to set your priorities? How to start your day? And other thing is that there are some people, when you start your day, they meet you and spoil your whole day.
Yes, they do.
How you get how you get lost those people?
Yes. Okay. I do think it's very important. Well, at least for me, it is that I have rituals in the morning, right? I have to get my coffee. I'm very much, I always get up, get showered, get dressed, get ready for the day, make my bed. I'm very ritualistic in that way because I want to set up that I'm setting myself up to have a good day. I make a schedule for the day, whether I have something going on or not. I'm very clear about my boundaries of what I need to do. I also don't work alone, right? I don't like to work alone. So I do have a partner that I work with that helps reflect back to me and keep me on task. So you have to decide, how do you work? Are you someone that wants to work autonomously, or do you like to partner? And that, even if in your business you don't have a partner, you can have an accountability partner, someone that helps keep you, reflects back that you're doing well, or maybe you've veered off course. But for me, mornings are very important. Getting up, suiting up and showing up in the best way possible, making sure you have a plan for the day. What am I going to accomplish? So at the end of the day, do I feel good about it? Did I do what I wanted to do? Did I do what I needed to do? Hear what I didn't say have to, because a
Uh-huh.
different mindset is we get to do something versus we have to do something. Have to sounds like an obligation. Get to
Okay.
is empowerment. I get to speak to you today. I get to talk to my clients. I get to go to the grocery store. There's a positiveness behind it, as opposed to I have to. I have to talk to Rizwan. I have to talk to my clients. Hear the difference? That's the slight shift in mindset of being empowered to do something, as opposed to a have to, right? And that have to can make you a victim. So I'm very aware of my words that I use to myself and others, always. Now, look, I'm not perfect. I have days that I don't like myself or anyone else, but I know that it's only temporary. And I have those partners that I can turn to and reflect back to me to get me back on course. So, morning rituals, suiting up, having a plan, but also having people that can reflect back to you of how you're doing and keep you on track.
That sounds cool and also inspiring as well. So, Alison, as you are an author as well, so when writing something, the external environment impact you a lot of time. You have thousands of ideas in your brain, and they are mingling up.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you can't focus on the single thing that you are writing about it. So, how you grab those ideas to focus on a single point agenda from all the things that are happening surrounding?
Right. So I love this question. What do we do when we have too many ideas, and how do we get them out? Right? How do we not allow them to battle each other? So one of the things that I love to do is index cards. Do you know what I'm talking about? Little
Yeah,
cards. So take index cards and write whatever idea you have on the top of the index card. You could have 10, 50, 100, I don't care. Put all your one idea on each card. And then every time you have a thought of how to accomplish that idea, write it on the card. I'm going to take this step. I need to contact this person. And all of a sudden, you'll start to see your plans start to emerge on these index cards. And what I like to do is lay the index cards out, and I see, wow, this index card has a ton of steps I can take, has a ton of ideas. And then I'll see another card that has just the idea with nothing under it. So then I start to evaluate, is this an idea I want to explore? Probably not. Put the card away. Start focusing on the things that have heat behind it. Start focusing on the things that have energy to it. That's how you start taking care of that clutter in your brain. What steps can I take to accomplish this idea? What steps can I take to get support for that idea? Just write it on the card, and all of a sudden a plan will start to emerge.
Alison, the last question of today's session I would like to ask: what should we do when we are doing multiple things, multitasking? People are praising you, yeah, that you are doing so much good. You are awesome. You are doing perfect. And in the meanwhile, you also feel yourself that you are draining your energy. You are losing yourself because you are doing multiple things at the same time,
Yes.
and you thought that you are losing something within yourself. However, you are working so hard in every aspect of your life. How to regain that energy? How to find potential again to reboost yourself?
Yes. I I call this, you have to know where you live emotionally. You have to know what refuels you, what recharges you, because we all have multi-passionate things. We all have, our plates are full, right? We have lots of things that we're doing, and we can give and give and give, and all of a sudden we're depleted, right? We're drained. How do we fix that? Well, you have
Yeah,
to know what re-energizes you, what fills you back up. What fills me back up is different than what fills you back up. Where can I ask for support? Where do I need to absolutely take a break, pause? Because if you aren't doing well, then nobody else is, or your projects. Remember, when you're on an airplane and the oxygen level drops, what happens? The mask comes down. And the
wow,
first thing the pilot says is, please put your own oxygen mask on first before you help anybody else.
exactly.
So in life, it's the same way. If you aren't taking care of yourself, you cannot be assistance to others or those projects that you're doing. So you have to know
Beautiful.
what refuels you. And don't be ashamed of what refuels you. And don't be ashamed of self-care and how to take care of yourself. It's not selfish. It's actually the most selfless thing you can do, to care for yourself first so you can take care of others and the projects that you want to do.
That's so amazing and so inspiring. It's definitely overwhelming that I'm listening to you and you have given another aspect of life. Thank you so much, Alison, for giving me time. It was really wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. And
And
I would like to say that anyone that goes to my website, which is AlisonRobertson.com, you can download a free PDF of my book. So all your viewers or listeners, please go get my book, and you can download it to your phone, to your Kindle, to your computer, and you can read it. And I would love to have any feedback that people get from reading the book, Enoughness.
that's great. And if you allow me, may I ask that either it's available in audiobooks because I love to listen books.
It is
Instead,
available on audiobook. And for you, Rizwan, I'm going to send it to you because you're so awesome. But yes, I do. And I do talk. I'm the one sharing the book. So you get to hear my voice.
so sweet of you that after so many days, I have feel a lot of answers from different questions that have been bombarding to my brain. Thank you so much for giving me time. It
Thank
was
you
really
so
cool.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much and have a blessed day and blessed week ahead. Thank you. Have a very good day.